Raising the minimum wage makes it difficult for companies like mine to compete against companies who are located in states with a lower wage base. Artificially raising the minimum wage will also potentially upset the balance of the wage scale in my company and other companies. If I'm currently paying an employee minimum wage at $7.25 an hour, and he receives a government-mandated increase to $8.50 an hour, the employee that's currently making $8.50 an hour will want to have his pay increased because he may have more experience and more seniority. This will have an unnatural disruptive effect on a significant portion of my wage scale. In the current economy, growing your sales to make up for these additional government-mandated expenses is not guaranteed. Raising my wage base will cause me to look for ways to reduce my expenses by limiting overtime or potentially reducing staffing levels.
Our members grapple every day with rising healthcare costs, taxes, excessive regulations, and other hurdles. When our members are forced to make tough financial decisions to meet their bottom line, it directly impacts their overall operations, especially ones that they were not prepared for. Now, we've heard several people testify previous to our testimony that said that New Jersey is an expensive state. We agree. However, several of our small business members do not have the resources or wherewithal to move their business operations out of state. So, when we engage them and we ask them, and several of you have these small business members in your communities, when you ask them, how do you meet these challenges? They respond by raising prices, which ultimately get passed on to the consumer. They respond by scaling back the hours of current employees. They respond by not hiring additional employees because they did not have it in their budget.
One of the things that I think is very interesting about this issue is that there are compelling studies on both sides as to the economic impact of a minimum wage increase. Everyone seems to agree that there is a tipping point, but the debate begins as to what that tipping point is. And our businesses tell us that right now they have a set amount of money for payroll based on what they're anticipating in their sales and profits. If their sales don't rise fast enough to accommodate forced wage hikes, they're going to be forced to make tough personnel and operating decisions. And unfortunately, an automatic increase in the minimum wage coupled with automatic annual increases do not necessarily correlate with increases in sales and revenues to cover the added labor costs.